Hello, Debbie. Thank you so much for coming on with me. I wanted to have a chat with you about your experiences with my retreats because you've now been on two weekend retreats with me. And, I love hearing from you, especially because I know you've got a clinical background. You're training as a uh, social worker, licensed.
Health therapist. I'm actually just completing my MSW now. So I've been working in a couple of fieldwork placements, mainly dealing with mental health difficulties in young adults and now children. And I'm hoping to continue on that path of training and gaining more experience and skills in treating people with mental health difficulties. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. So, I see my work as being adjacent to therapy, but certainly not therapy, and I always make that very clear. But I think my retreats and my courses could be very helpful to therapists, and also to you know, potentially to support people in therapy with an understanding that it's another set of tools. And I just wanted to ask you what your thoughts were about that.
Yeah, absolutely. That really resonates because there are so many aspects to this that we can all be helped by self-regulation tools, as you were talking about, mindfulness tools, having an eye on healthy eating, getting outside, and all of those things. So I think a lot of what you do on your retreats really speaks to that holistic wellness element and mental health treatment. It can range from very, very intensive inpatient, but also, many of us, myself included, see a therapist once a week and talk about, our personal issues arising. And I think all of it, together supports our health. And so your retreats for me personally have been extremely supportive.
Can I ask you how they've been supportive for you personally? Why you decided to come on retreat and perhaps why you would support someone else coming on a retreat with me?
Yeah. So there are a few different reasons why I thought your retreats have just been so great, so supportive for me. So this will make you laugh. One of is that I have kids and a husband, and whilst I love them dearly, it's a lot, right? It's a lot to be a mum, to be very active. My kids are all at school. There's always some drama of one kind or another, and it's just so nice to get away. A bit of me time, I work really hard and I work really hard at being a good mom and a good partner to my spouse. And yeah, so it's lovely to have that time away. And then of course on retreat, I find that a lot of the activities that we've been doing are just so enriching so for example, getting outside into nature, when we did our nature hike, that really stood out to me as a highlight of the first retreat I went on with you. Um, it was so beautiful and really just having that quiet time, peaceful chance to breathe in nature and just look around and be a part of it and not be sort of so stuck in my head, but kind of get out of that bubble and really be more connected with nature was just so lovely and so helpful to me. And other things too, like you've been leading breathing practices and yoga practices. And in terms of my physical health, it just feels wonderful to move my body. I don't, I admit I'm not a sporty person. I'm not someone who kills it at the gym. And so it's just really nice to do something that's relaxing, but also good for my body, that's not, going to stress me out. But it's also, challenging me a little bit, and like my muscles and nice stretch. And so, yeah, and mentally, emotionally, there was this other aspect of it, which I don't know if you're aware that it's so important, but the social aspect, because a lot of what I do is working one-on-one with people. And at the end of the day, I can often feel like, oh, I've been just sort of in my own cubicle, as it were, doing my work. I might be interacting with one person at a time, but I'm not really part of a team. And I think that was just so lovely to come on retreat, to get to know in a very meaningful way a bunch of really lovely women. I mean, the retreats I've been on with you have been women's retreats, but I know that you also run mixed retreats. And it was just really special to get to know people. It's funny because at first everyone is a little shy and a little awkward, but within a few seconds of your group facilitation, I think everyone relaxes and starts to feel that we can all laugh together about things and people open up and share important things about themselves. And that's just been really lovely.
Thank you so much for sharing. Yeah. So can I ask you, how did it feel different after you left the weekend retreat? And have any of the practices that you learned on retreat or practiced again lasted with you?
Um, immediately after the retreat, I felt just much more myself. I felt that maybe I had been quite stressed and quite overwhelmed, maybe quite tense before the retreat. And then after the retreat, I felt much more just calm, able to take things in my stride and just better for it all round. And I think probably, nicer to my family. And it's a couple of months on now, and I'm still doing breathing and very brief pause practices.
Mm.
We talked a lot on the retreats, put this in context about finding those moments. Maybe it's first thing in the morning, or it might be how you start your day. But it can be at any moment of the day where you just take a pause for a couple of minutes, maybe not even that, maybe just 30 seconds, and just allow things to be as they are and notice what's happening, both internally and externally. And so I've been doing a lot of that actually. I tend to do it
Mm.
at funny times, like when I'm waiting for a kid, when I'm sitting in the car, just waiting for them to come out of their activity. And I just think, okay, I'm just going to take a pause. But yeah,
You found your pause.
good. Yes. And we had quite a joke on the retreat about how that's rather countercultural these days. It means being a bit of a rebel in our
Yes,
um,
in our
climate.
go, yeah,
Yeah.
in our go society. Yeah. And how do you think that finding your pause has affected you?
In every way. I can't even, capture all of it. I sleep better at night. I think my health is better for it. I'm definitely mentally more calm and alert, whereas I have a tendency when I'm very stressed to either um, just have like a mind that's bouncing around or just sort of crash out altogether because I get overwhelmed. So I've had much less of that and more, I can see it coming in advance. So I know that I need to take a break. Um, I'm probably nicer in my relationships. You'd have to ask them. Uh, yeah, in every respect, and I just really appreciate my life more. I appreciate things like spending time with my cats. I've been listening to more music, catching up with more friends. There are all sorts of things that I think it all feeds into just having a more contented life.
Mm. Wow. Well, thank you so much for sharing, Debbie. And I'm just delighted to hear from you and to know that the practice really impacted you so much. Because I'm just thinking our last retreat was in February and we're now in April. So you found your pause or you rediscovered it and you've kept it going now for over 6 weeks, which is what I always talk to people about. So congratulations. I hope you're proud of yourself and thank you so much for sharing.
Oh, thank you, Miranda. I think also your teachings just really resonate and they, continue so that when you're teaching your students about kindness and self-kindness and being a more compassionate person, but also to ourselves, maybe first to ourselves, and then we're able to apply it outwardly. I think it has a ripple effect. And I think
Mm,
that's really been a huge thing in my life. So and I know that you're affecting many people and,
mm.
in the most beautiful, positive way. And I hope yourself kind of know that.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you so much, Debbie. I appreciate you so much.
Appreciate you too.